Okay guys, let's start. So let's rig this car here with massfx. I got this BMW. It's one of the models that ships with Max, so everybody that has Max should have this model, so this shouldn't be a problem. I was planning to use one of the models that I did, but after that I figured this one should be easier since everybody will have this model in their hand. First of all, this model is coming as one piece. So I'm gonna detach the wheels. I'm gonna go to the editable poly here. It's editable mesh, and I select the elements here. You gotta check the window crossing here. Just make sure it's just a rectangle, so you can select it. I'm gonna select one at a time. Okay. I'm gonna detach it. I'm gonna name it tire 01. Okay, detach as object. Do the same for the other tires. What happened to this one? There you go. Alright, go to the left viewport. Got out from my object here. Now I'm gonna select my tires and affect the pivot only and center to objects. Okay. Alright. This is our model here. We get the body and we get the tires. I'm gonna adjust the pivot point. I'm gonna make it right here. Go at the bottom of the body here. Okay. Next, let's build our massfx rig here. What we need is create a couple of cylinders for the tires, and we need just a box for the car body. I'm gonna create a couple of cylinders here. I'm gonna create just one first. Shift A to align it to one of those tires. Go to the bottom viewport, and I make sure that the pivot point of the cylinder is centered to it. I'm going to affect pivot only, center to object. Shift A. Oh, I clicked Shift K. I rendered it instead. Shift A again, and it should be right in the middle of the tire. Click R. I'm gonna just scale it a little bit here. Go back to the left viewport and we scale it down. Let's up the number of the other sides to 32 and let's give it 40. So it's gonna give us a cleaner motion. I'm gonna convert it to editable poly. Since we did scale it, let's go to the reset X form, reset selected, and after that convert it to an editable poly. Now I'm gonna just copy it 3 times. Shift A, Shift A, and Shift A. Okay. Now I'm gonna create cylinders. Basically, they're gonna act as axles between those tires. I'm gonna create a couple of boxes here. Now I'm gonna make them square to the length and the width. Shift A, and I'm actually gonna do Alt A and align it to one of those cylinders. Just a second. It seems like the cylinders in the back and the front are not lined up. So I'm going to select this tire and the cylinder, go back to the left viewport and try to align it to this one. Okay, these are aligned. Alright, I'm going to select everything. I'm going to freeze the transformation on them. Alright, go to the bottom viewport and I bring this one So I'm gonna affect the pivot only first, affect the pivot only and center to object. Alright. I'm gonna to align them exactly between these two objects. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to animation, constraint, position constraint, and constraint into the cylinder. And after that, I'm gonna go back to the motion menu here. Under the position constraint, I'm gonna pick the other position target. I'm gonna pick the other cylinder here from the other side, and this make it will be positioned right in the middle between these two here. So I'm gonna delete those position target. Not deleting them. Actually, I'm gonna freeze the transformation on it again, and this will take that constraint away. I'm gonna convert it into a poly. Click one, grab the vertices from each side. I'm gonna just scale them down. I'm scaling down the vertices so I don't have to do the X form again on the object. Since when you are in the sub object, you are not affecting the object transformers, you are basically just affecting its vertices. I'm gonna copy this one here. I'm gonna copy it as to the back. And I'm gonna do the same thing to it. I'm gonna go animation, constraint, position constraint, and I constraint into the cylinder to this side, and after I'm gonna add the other cylinder. Okay, now freeze these transformers. Next, I'm gonna rotate this one here. Cancel. I'm gonna click A so you can enable the angle snap. Shift and rotate 90 degrees. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try to align this between these two axles. So I'm gonna go to the animation, constraint, position constraint, select that first box, and after that go under added position target, click the other box. Now it's constrained right in the middle of these two. Now freeze these transformers. Yes. Click one. Convert it into a poly. I don't think. Did we convert it? Yeah, we did. And I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to scale them up. Right up to here. That should be fine. Alright. Now I got all of these. Now I need something to act as a body for our car. Since I'm not going like to for a flip in the car and everything, so all what I'm going for is just an effect for crashing the front. So basically I need just this car to be animated going forward. That's why I'm not going to be doing flipping or anything. If I was going to be doing flipping the car and stuff, I'm going to model the like a proxy or low geometry that resembles to our car body here. But since our car is just going to be moving forward and smash into a wall, a box should be fine. We don't need to go through the hassle of modeling the whole car, the whole proxy. So I'm going to create a box. I'm going to make it almost the same length as the car. I'm going to shift A and align it to this one over here. Okay. Oh, I think I forgot to affect the pivot only. So we have affect pivot only and center it to the object. Do it again. Now shift A. To this one, alright. Grab it to the top. Say right here. Yeah, it should be fine. Go to the top. R. Convert it to a poly. Click one. R. Okay, this should be fine. Now I'm gonna try to organize my scene a little bit. I'm gonna create a couple of layers. First layer is gonna be for the car. I'm gonna make a layer just for the body here. I'm gonna rename it as car body. I'm gonna select tires. put them in new layer and rename it as tires. I'm gonna hide my body. I'm gonna hide the tires. I'm gonna select all of these here and I'm gonna put them as make a new and hide it and rename it as massfx geo. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna create a new layer here, I'm gonna rename it as constraint, and we're gonna use this layer in a second. First I'm gonna try to link all my objects to this center axle here. So I'm gonna create this one. Okay. I'm gonna rename this one to massfx car body. I'm gonna rename this one to the massfx center control, I guess. Center control. This one gonna be massfx back axle, and this one here gonna be the front axle. Okay. I'm going to select all the tires together here. I'm going to go just under tools, rename object, and just tires, tire, and make them numbered and rename. Alright. Awesome. Now I'm going to link these two tires here. I'm going to link them to this axle here. I'm going to select these two, the front tires, link them to this axle. Now I'm going to select this axle, and the car body, and link them to the center control here. There you go. Now our car body is moving. I'm going to let's move this one to the back a little lower. Not move it to the back. I mean, try to make more space between this and the tires. So I'm gonna go here, change it to the center here, and just scale it down a bit. Okay. Now let's go grab our massfx toolbar. I'm gonna select everything. I'm gonna get out from the pop here. I'm gonna select everything and turn it to dynamic rigid body. So you got everything as a rigid body here. Now I'm gonna start applying constraints. All these constraints are the same constraints, the same one, or the only difference is just some parameter are locked and some where they are not locked in the other parameters to give you different ones. But basically it's all one constraint, just tweak it to give you a different kind of constraint. So I'm gonna start with the constraining these tires to their axles. So I'm going to select the tire and I'm going to create twist constraint. And give you this, and I'm going to go back all the way up, go to the parent and select the axle. Okay, I'm going to do the same for this one here. Let's see what's just the height for this constraint here. I'm going to set it to 15. Select this one again, parent, this one, and change the icon size 15. Now to the back, select this one, click this. The parent should be this axle here. Let's change the size to 15. We have this one now. I'm gonna change this one to what am I doing? I need to constrain it first. And undefined. Check the parent here. Back axle, okay. And change this to 15. Next, what we need to do, we need to constrain these axles to the center axle, to the center contour. So I'm going to select my center axle here. I'm going to change the constraint to create rigid body constraint, and the parent should be that axle back here. Let's change it to 6. Now select the back one and do the same thing. The parent should be the center here, and change it to 6. Now we need to constrain the body, the car body. Before we constrain it, we need to make sure that the pivot point is at the bottom here. Go to affect pivot point only and bring the pivot point way at the bottom here. Okay, now we can do the constraint. The parent should be this one here, and I'm gonna change it to 4. And this is it. That's really all that you need. So now if I click, hopefully if I click play, we wouldn't have any problem. Alright, it's kind of wobbly and everything, so let's see. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select the massfx tool setting here, and I'm gonna change up the solver iteration here to the max 255. Let's go. Next, let's play it. Alright. Next, we're gonna change the weights and stuff for our objects. I'm going to select my cylinders here. And do mass. I'm going to change it to 20. And this one here, I'm going to change it to, let's say 400. So maybe that was 20, that's 80. Let's just make this one 120. About our axles here, this one make it 50, make it 60. And make this axle here and the back axle here to 10 each. Again. Alright, and that's better movement here. Okay, now to make it move, there is a lot of options that you can make it move. One of these is you can go back here. Let's say this is the control here, so you're going to select this one here. You need to go to initial motion here, and you need to up which axle. Like right now here, let's go to the gimbal lock here. It will show. So we need here to, and we need to push the velocity and the Y. So you need to up it and up the speed. And usually it's kind of a battle between these two, because you really don't know how much of velocity you need to move that much of mass in this object. So usually what people do, they go to they use the transition from kinematic to dynamic on the massfx objects. So basically, if I click N here to animate and go, let's say to frame 10, and move this one forward here to 10. Next, I'm gonna go down here and change my. I'm gonna uncheck the auto key here. Go to the object. I'm gonna change it to kinematic until the frame. I say until the frame 8. So it's kinematic. It means it's gonna just use the animation from this object until frame 8. It's gonna turn into dynamic, and it's gonna carry on the animation that was already on it and use it as an initial velocity. So if I play now, if I hit play in my massfx, that's what you're gonna get. Alright, that's, and as you can see, it did continue on that. If I wanted to go further, all what I gotta do is just maybe go back to my first. I don't want to move this first one here, so I'm gonna just roll it down. I'll move this key down here and then change this one here to, let's say, frame 3. Play, it's gonna shoot. Alright, and it's still going. And that's one of the methods. The method that I like is it's using the forces. So I'm gonna turn this one back to dynamic. Go to the front viewport here, and I'm gonna create a wind. For people that doesn't know where wind is, it's under the space warp here, in this button here. You grab the wind. Next, I'm gonna just unhide my car body for a second to see what's okay. So it's going this way. Oh, and before that, let's link our car to our objects. So I'm gonna link the body here to the massfx body. I'm gonna hide the car body for a second. Now I'm gonna hide the tires, and I'm gonna link each tire to its corresponding cylinder. Okay, now this will make the car move when our object is animated. Next, I'm gonna go under G here, go to under forces, W here. I'm gonna grab the center axle here. Under forces here, I'm gonna add the window. Add the wind. So the window. Sorry about that. And usually you need to up the wind quite a bit to make the car move. So I'm gonna start with 500 and hit play and see. All right. Now I'm gonna hide my massfx geos and hide my constraint and hide my car body and hide my tires and hit play. Let's see what you're gonna get. Awesome. Now let's add the wall or something that's gonna the car gonna hit. Oh, just a second. Let's create a new layer and rename it as collision. And you can add as many collision as you want in this object, in this layer. And make sure it's selected though. I'm gonna close this window here. I'm gonna create a box. Make it as a wall. And change the color here. And create another box here as a ground for our scene. And change the color for it. Okay. Next, what you're gonna do next? Next, we're gonna turn this one here to select as rigid body. I'm gonna rename it as wall. Okay. Now, if we play, the car keep hitting, but it stays stuck there because the wind is keep pushing it against the wall. So what we need to do, we need to animate our wind. So I'm gonna go to I don't know where did I hide it. I think I hide it in the massfx geos. No, where is it? Go to the layers here. Where did I put the window? The wind. Yeah, I added the constraint. I'm gonna select the wind, select it, and hide it. I'm gonna add to the default layer here. So I want it to be animated. Let's just check very quick where I want it to be animated. Okay. Right. So I'm gonna click N. I'm gonna have 500. Let's say until frame 25. Change it back to 500 here. And I'm gonna move this one all the way up here. And change this one here to 0. So you got 500. I'm gonna delete that key. You got key for 500. Then after that, this key here. We need it to be 0, so the wind will stop. Okay, let's grab our massfx again. Let's play. Yeah, and that wasn't enough. So again, and up this one, let's say to 1000. And now play again and see what you're gonna get. Yep, and that's what we are looking for here. Then I'm gonna hide my constraint. And I'm gonna hide my massfx geomtry. Play it again. I think it's moving too fast. It's gonna give us kind of problem with the cloth, so I'm gonna just lower it down again, and let's put it to 600. Play again. Alright, so this is it for this part here. The first part, we rigged the car and everything. The second part gonna be about making the car deform and everything. So I'll see you guys in the second part. Thank you.